Whoa! Yuck. Sorry, guys. Good morning. It's really early. It's 7:30 in the morning. It's still dark outside. I'm in my car. I just pulled into the gym. But I got inspired to do this video for you, this real video. Yeah, this piece of hair right here, that's a problem. Because I'm about to experience the beauty of fat adaptation. And I wanted to sort of like live blog it or video blog it. I'm just not going to be live. I hate live video. It's going to be a perfectly edited video, hopefully, to sort of explain to you in almost real time why I love being fat adapted, why I encourage it for every human, specifically my fitness people, my athlete people. Now, I'm no athlete. I'm not an athlete, but I do get paid to physically exert myself to a very high level of intensity almost every day. So I work in the fitness industry. I'm a group fitness instructor. I'm not going to bore you with the details of this, but suffice it to say, 7:30 in the morning, I'm looking down the barrel of an 8-hour day of exercise. 8 hours of fitness ahead of me. By the way, from a fitness perspective, from a health coaching perspective, please never do this. Do not exercise for 8 hours. This is a level of training that is veering into overtraining. It sets off the stress response in your body. You don't want that. Okay, I want to talk to you about the food I'm going to use to fuel this. So I had dinner last night at about 7 p.m. and I had some chicken. So that was my dinner. That was like 12 hours ago. So 12-hour fast overnight, that's fairly typical for most people. That's not a big deal. But I did wake up this morning kind of hungry. So I feel it in my stomach. Like in my stomach, I'm like, I'm a little hungry. I'm just a little bit hungry this morning. That's where a hunger signal should happen. That's where it should happen. It should happen in your stomach. It should not be this total body chaotic experience where you can't function mentally, you can't function emotionally, you're flipping tables, you're punching your husband in the throat because he's annoying, you're crying, you're breaking down, you're losing your mind. Hangry isn't cute. Hangry is not cute, and it's not funny, and it's not right. The number one symptom I look for when I'm trying to determine if somebody is burning sugar as fuel, because that's an unreliable fuel source, and I've written 45 million blog posts about it, so you can go back on my blog and read them. Sugar is an unreliable fuel. It would be super, super unreliable for me on an 8-hour epic workout day. I would need to have a cooler of snacks or meals in my car. I just don't roll in those circles. But you've seen those people who have to carry coolers full of food with them, people who are training really hard for this or that. They have to bring food with them because they think they have to fuel themselves every 2 hours. And if you feel like you have to fuel yourself every 2 hours, your hunger is broken. You don't need to, okay? I'm hungry. I have a hunger in my belly. But just because of the realities of my schedule, I can't eat right now because I'm going to go in right now and work on some yoga. That's what I have to do right now. I don't really want to have a full belly before going and doing a bunch of yoga. So I'm not going to eat now, although I could eat now and that would be fine if I had a regular day. But the reality is I won't actually have a chance to eat for 5 more hours. I'm hungry now and I can't eat for 5 more hours. And in that 5 hours, I'm not just sitting around, I'm exercising. How? Let's forget about eating your fuel for a second, because you shouldn't have to eat fuel. You should not have to physically fuel a workout. I shouldn't have to eat and then go exercise. That's ridiculously inefficient function of the body system. If that's how your body works, or I can't exercise until I've previously fueled that workout I'm about to do, that's ridiculous. Our hunter-gatherer ancestors did not have the opportunity to pre-fuel before they went out and slayed a mastodon. The mastodon was the fuel. They had to get the food, and they had to do it when they were hungry. We've evolved to exert ourselves when we're hungry. Eating to fuel a workout, if you have to do that, then your fuel partitioning system isn't working properly. We can fix that too. How am I going to fuel it if I'm not eating my fuel? Because that's stupid. That's not how the body is designed. You don't have to eat before you do something. God. You have 2 types of stored fuel in and on your body. The first would be your glycogen stores, and this is where glucose or sugar, carbohydrate, I guess, would be stored on your body. So that's the quick burn energy that you want to access when you need a quick shot of energy. and you have about 2,000 calories worth of stored glycogen in your body. 2,000 calories. You're probably thinking, oh, that should be good enough to sustain 5 hours of exercise. And I'm thinking, what about my basal metabolic rate? What about the fact that I haven't eaten in 12 hours? I need a lot more than 2,000 calories. Like I'm gonna need a lot more than that. That 2,000 calories is a drop in the bucket. It's very, very unreliable. That's why people who are running on sugar, who are relying on things like glucose and glycogen, need to eat all the time, because you run out of that real quick. Now, in contrast, I'm rolling around at about, I don't know, 15%, 16% body fat. I don't really know. I don't actually care. And I have tens of thousands of calories of stored energy on my body in the form of fat, stored fat. There's fat. Fat's always there. It's there until it's not there anymore. And if your fat wasn't there anymore, how exciting would that be? Tens of thousands of calories of stored fat. Wow, how convenient. That will definitely get me through these next 5 hours until I can eat some food. And the food I'm going to eat, by the way, will be protein and fat. I'm not even going to carb up afterwards. What? But here's the trick. Your body needs to know how to burn fat as fuel. And it doesn't know how to do that if you're feeding it every 2 hours. The body just gets used to it. Like, oh, I don't have to mobilize any stored fat. I'm always being fed. This person's always feeding me, so I don't need to access any of my stored fuel. Perfect. I'll just hang on to it. I'm not eating my fuel. I'm using my stored fuel. We all know about stored fuel. Stored fuel is why I get weight loss clients. I want to get this stored fuel off my body. Yeah, let's do that. I've been going to the gym to burn fat, but then I've been feeding my body fuel, so it doesn't have to even figure out how to access my stored fuel. Like, just think of it in that way. You know, people are always saying food is fuel. Well, guess what? So's body fat. It's fuel too. So think about that. Just let that one roll around in your brain for a minute. Like, there's an aha moment for you. Like, I'm going to go exercise for 5 hours right now, hungry, not hangry, hungry, and I'm gonna be just fine. I'm gonna go into the gym right now and burn fat for a few hours. Then I gotta run to another gym, teach a class. Then I gotta run to another gym, train with my personal trainer, because why not? Then I'm gonna eat. So we're gonna see how my hunger manifests itself over the next 5 hours. And I'm gonna share with you as well how the rest of the day goes. This morning is all about yoga. The afternoon is all about dance. I'm gonna be dancing, so cardio. High intensity cardio for hours straight. Don't ever do that. Don't try that at home. Don't do 3 hours of cardio. What's wrong with you? Don't do that. I have to do it. It's my job. But this is gonna be really interesting. Actually, it might not even be that interesting. Okay, I'm gonna go. We'll catch you later. All right, I'm walking out of the gym. I just had my first 2 hours. And an interesting thing happened is that my hunger went away. That hunger that I had, it's gone. And I found that happens a lot. Once I start tapping into fat stores, I'm kind of solid for a while. So I'm gonna run to my next workout. I'm still like 3 hours away from my eating opportunity, but I'm feeling good. Super quick update. It's now noon. I'm getting ready to eat. So I've done my 5 hours. 5 hours since my last hunger, and during that time I did about 3 hours of yoga and a bunch of driving around and stuff like that. So you might be thinking to yourself, oh, yoga. Well, yoga's not hard. First of all, if you're saying that, then I know you've never done yoga before, because it's not easy. Yeah. Secondly, I know people who can't sit at their desks at work for 5 hours without needing to eat twice. So this is what I'm talking about, this effortless appetite management. Speaking of hunger, my hunger has actually kind of subsided. I don't know what that is biochemically. If now that I've started mobilizing fat because I've been training fasted, maybe that it's dampened my hunger signaling. But I'm gonna eat. So the basic schedule that I've got here now is I've got an hour, and then my next workout kicks in. My next workout is with my trainer, which I was very poorly planned, but I know she's training shoulders with me today, so that's something that I probably can do with a bit of food in my belly. So I'm going to go to a restaurant here and I'm gonna have a meal. And it's not going to be boiled chicken breast and steamed vegetables, you better believe, because that meal will do me no favors. That meal is just lean protein and some carbohydrate, and there's nothing in there that I can use for fuel. I'm going to have protein and fat be the star of my show, with some amazing green vegetables as well. That's how I like to eat. But people often will you know, backload theoretically their burnt off energy with carbs. I mean, I used to do that. Back when I was a sugar burner, I used to go and teach 2 hours of fitness classes back to back, which is a fraction of what I'm doing today. And I would need to drink orange juice the entire time. Otherwise, I would bonk so hard and hit the wall, I couldn't even function. And then afterwards, I'd be so ravenously hangry, I would go to a massive sandwich chain that you might know, and order the footlong, which is an entire loaf of bread, and I'd need to eat that immediately. Like, that was the urgency of my hunger, and I was just getting fatter and sicker while I was eating that way. Now I'm effortlessly maintaining my weight, my appetite, my mood, my energy, because I'm running on fat. So this meal, you might think that sounds like junk food. A burger? I'm having a burger. I'm having meat and fat and vegetables. But I'm now on, if I'm going to do the math, I am now on my 19th hour of fasting. Is that right? 17th, 18th hour. My 18th hour of fasting. It's math. So 18 hours I've gone without food. That's, to me, that's my typical fast. That's typically, I mean, I say typically, I take that with a grain of salt because I don't intentionally do anything. I eat when I'm hungry, I stop when I'm full. But an 18-hour fast is kind of where I usually hover most days. 18, 20, somewhere around there. Sometimes I don't fast at all. Sometimes I'm hungrier, so I eat more. Honestly, that's how appetite should be. It should be a whisper, not a roar. It shouldn't be tied to necessarily what your active pursuits of the day. Carbing up for things, backfilling depleted glycogen stores. It's all, you don't have to do it with food. Your body can do it. Your body knows how to do it. Your body's done it for millions of years. Not your body, but our bodies collectively. So I'm not hungry. I'm not crazy ravenously hungry. You know, 5 hours ago I told you I was hungry, and I'm still experiencing that same gentle hunger signal, and now I'm gonna go feed it. It's a great day. And we're back in the car, and I just made that burger my bitch. So at this sort of mall area that I'm at right now, there were other options. So like, there were your usual suspects. So there was a McDonald's, and if I had maybe been in a more chaotic state of hangriness after, you know, my long fast and my hours of exercise this morning, the drive-thru might have been tempting, but I wasn't even tempted by it. You know, I think those cheeseburgers are delicious, but I wasn't tempted by the drive-thru because my hunger was manageable. I also wasn't tempted by Tim Hortons, which is a quick serve, just carb palace, basically. As we have other, you know, healthy options here. There's a Freshie right here, which is salads. I like salads, I like vegetables. But if I were gonna have a salad, like, I needed a meal that was gonna like carry me for the next several hours of work that I have to do, physical exercise I have to do. Now the burger that I ate, so I had a burger, I put, there was a tomato on there, a pickle, I put on some bacon, some cheese, and some guacamole. I took the bun away, obviously. And for my side, I had a double order of seared broccolini, so very buttery green vegetable. And I'm not full. This is the other beautiful thing. When you're choosing these fuel sources, they don't fill your gut. They don't make you full and bloated. I'm satiated. I feel satisfied at the cellular level. My hunger has been satisfied. I have no hunger signal left. I'm not hungry anymore. I don't need to eat anymore. I also won't have a blood sugar crash from that meal because there was nothing in it that will cause my insulin to surge and then crash. So now it's almost 1 o'clock, and now, like I mentioned a million times, I'm going in to lift some heavy weights with my trainer. I have food in my stomach. It's okay because we're just lifting weights. I hope she doesn't watch this video and hear me say that. Oh boy, I'm in trouble. I can do that with a full stomach. It's fine. But after that, then things get really real for me, because now I'm into the high intensity part of my exercise day, the cardio part. For the next several hours, I have to practice a dance class. So when I practice it, I'll probably go pretty small. I probably won't kill it. Then I have to teach that class, which I will kill it. We'll have another 3 hours of physical exertion. Oh, now I have fat and protein and some carbohydrate in my bloodstream from that meal that I just ate. So that food's gonna digest down into its component parts, its fuel parts, which would be the macronutrients, fat, protein, and carbohydrate. And all of that can go to, all three of those macronutrients for me can go to replenishing my glycogen stores. It can be some free glucose in my blood for me to use on my training session in the class I'm going to teach. But because I'm a fat burning beast, I don't have to just rely on that meal. That meal was that meal. That was my only calorie intake of the day so far. Let's aim high and say that I'm at 1,000 calories. I don't even know, 1,000 calories. But that's probably the only food I'm going to eat all day, because I'm going to go do the rest of my workout with what's coursing through my veins and what's sitting on my body, and I won't probably eat again until I get home and after this whole ordeal is done. So check that out. My calorie counts are coming in way lower than somebody who's white knuckling it through a deprivation-based diet plan and failing. I'm just honoring hunger and kind of killing it on the calorie counts if I cared about calories, which I don't. Anyway, catch you on the flip side. Hi, it's me again. Okay, I'm still a hot mess. Nothing has changed. I do have a shower on the agenda very shortly, just so we're clear. But now it's 3 o'clock, so I just finished my weightlifting with my trainer, and I just did an hour of dance practice. So I didn't dance super hard, but and whatever's an hour, right? So I'm feeling pretty good. I'm still not hungry. I will say, in the interest of full disclosure, I'm feeling a little depleted. So that's probably just a bit of a depletion in my muscle glycogen that I'm feeling, and I can get that going again with a little influx of carbohydrate in the form of fructose. There's a lot of mixed emotions on fructose. Fruit sugar, right? So sometimes when glycogen stores are full, fructose immediately just goes to the liver, because the fructose looks for space in the glycogen stores. It's like, oh, I'm going to go fill up that glycogen. And then it gets to the glycogen storage sites. If the glycogen stores are already full, then it's like, oh, okay, well, glycogen doesn't need me right now. I'm just going to roll over to liver. And the liver converts fructose to triglycerides, which becomes fat on your body. That's why sugar makes you fat, and so, like, for a lot of reasons, but that's one of the reasons why. And fructose and fruit kind of get a little bit of a weird rap. However, if your glycogen is depleted or quite low, then fructose will rush in there and refill it. So this is a good opportunity for me to just have a bit of fruit. I don't eat a lot of fruit. I'm not anti-fruit, but because I'm trying never to spike my blood sugar, I live a way happier, healthier life when my blood sugar is in control, my insulin's in control. I never want to spike my blood sugar. I never want to have big insulin dumping into my blood. So I just avoid, I don't avoid, but I just eat other things. I'm not avoiding fruit, I'm not avoiding sugar, I just eat other things that I know won't have that effect. But right now I'm feeling like maybe some fruit would do me some good. So I'm gonna head over to the grocery store. I'm gonna pick a nice juicy pear, because when pears are in season, oh my goodness, when pears are in season, it's almost like pornographic how delicious they are. The juicy, just like flesh. So I'm gonna go get a pear. I'm gonna have a bunch more water. I'm feeling quite thirsty. Oh, by the way, thirst is another thing that I treat much the same way as hunger. I drink when I'm thirsty. Like, if you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. That's such bullcrap. Come on, like, let's give the body a little more credit than that. That would be a really defective survival mechanism if that was the case. Like, oh, damn, sorry, my bad, you're already dehydrated, oops. No, when you're thirsty, it means you're thirsty. So I'm full thirsty. I'm on my 2nd liter of water, which is not a lot of water by, for some people. There's guys in this gym right now carting around a 4-liter milk jug full of water. Not really into water that much. I like water. It quenches my thirst, and I'm gonna have some water. I'm gonna have a pear. I'm gonna have a little sit in the massage chair. I'm rounding the bend on my big day of exercise, and just to recap, I've had a burger patty with a bunch of fat chucked on it and some veggies, and that's all I've had, and it's still doing me good. Okay, stay tuned for the dramatic conclusion. Oh my goodness. Okay, this just got worse. Look at this. Look at this. Is freshly. I was showered, and then I taught that class, and now I'm kind of a hot mess. Well, I've been a hot mess all day. Who am I kidding? Doesn't matter. This is the exciting conclusion of my fat adaptation experiment. So it's now 7 o'clock at night. It's 12 hours after my day started, and I started off the day hungry. I ate one burger, some broccolini, and a pear, which I did have. It was delicious. And basically took part in 8 hours of exercise, which you should never do. Did I mention that? Don't ever do that. But I did it, and I'm not actually hungry now. I'm gonna go home and really relax and drink a lot of water and probably sit in my hot tub, but I'm not ravenously hungry. This was an extreme example of fat adaptation and how it can work for you. But imagine a day, a regular day, a day at the office, a day at home, wherever you are, with a workout or not with a workout, where you could go the whole entire day without needing to fuel yourself constantly. It's the most liberating thing in the world, and I encourage you to try it.